Welcome back to the Coin Jackpot. Today, we're going to show you a $250 coin worth more than $460,000, and the reason is its minting errors. Because of these minting errors, the U.S. government has banned these quarters, and collectors are chasing after them. They are going crazy trying to find them. Take a look through your drawers, your coin jars, and your old collections. If you happen to have one of these coins, contact a collector and sell it for its true value. It could benefit you in the future and help you enjoy a much more comfortable life. Let's start the video and find out which minting errors make these $250 so valuable. A quarter you could receive as change at a grocery store today might seem impossible to connect to a $42,000 coin, yet that's exactly why collectors are paying attention to the 2024 Dr. Mary Edwards Walker quarter. It's new, it's circulating, and millions of people spend these coins every day without looking twice. But hidden among ordinary examples could be rare mint errors and exceptional specimens that collectors dream of finding. The most exciting part? Unlike century-old treasures, locked away in collections, this coin could still be sitting in a cash register, a coin roll, or even your pocket right now. Today's treasure hunt starts with 25 cents, but it may end somewhere far more surprising. Most treasure hunts begin with a map. This one begins with a story. The 2024 Dr. Mary Edwards Walker Quarter is part of the American Women Quarters program. Dr. Mary Edwards Walker wasn't an ordinary historical figure. She was a surgeon, reformer, and the only woman ever awarded the Medal of Honor. Her life challenged expectations, and now her image appears on a modern American quarter. Millions were produced. Most will circulate unnoticed. But history has shown that modern coins often produce unexpected treasures through mint errors and unusual varieties. That's where our hunt begins. Before searching for treasure, look for the mint mark. You'll typically find P. Dares, Philadelphia, D. Dares, Denver, S. San Francisco. Today's hunt focuses on the 2024 P version struck in Philadelphia. That small letter may seem insignificant, but experienced collectors know tiny details often separate ordinary coins from extraordinary discoveries. The journey began with clad metal planchets. These blanks moved through high-speed minting presses capable of producing enormous quantities of coins. Powerful dies struck. George Washington on the obverse. Dr. Mary Edwards Walker on the reverse. Most coins emerged perfectly, but speed creates opportunity. When millions of coins are produced, mistakes occasionally escape into circulation, and those mistakes become treasure. Our first stop on the treasure trail is the die crack. Mint dies experience tremendous pressure. Over time, tiny fractures develop. These fractures appear on coins as raised lines. Some are small and subtle. Others become dramatic features crossing portions of the design. Realistic value range minor die cracks. $20–$75 strong visible examples. $100–$500 major dramatic cracks. $800–$20,500. Collectors often enjoy following the progression of a die as cracks become larger over time. Now the hunt gets more serious. A doubled die occurs during die preparation. Parts of the design receive multiple impressions that don't align perfectly. The result is visible doubling. Look carefully at lettering, date numerals, design details. Washington's portrait strong, doubling can generate substantial collector interest. Realistic value range minor, doubling. $100–$500 strong visible examples. $1,000 or $5,000 exceptional certified pieces. $6,000, $15,000. Many doubled dies are discovered years after release. This is one of the easiest errors to spot. An off-center strike occurs when the blank planchet shifts before striking. Part of the design is missing. A blank crescent remains visible. Realistic value range slight off-center strikes. $100–$300 moderate examples. $500–$2,000 major off-center strikes. $3,000–$8,000 collectors especially value examples where the date remains visible. Imagine grease, fibers, or debris entering the striking chamber. When the dies strike the coin, part of the design fails to form properly. The result is a struck-through error. Each one is unique. Realistic value range. Minor struck-throughs, $5,200. Strong examples, $300, $2,500 dramatic examples, $2,000, $5,000. No two examples tell exactly the same story. Sometimes the mistake occurs before striking begins. Planchets are punched from large sheets of metal. If punches overlap incorrectly, part of the blank is missing. When struck, the quarter retains that missing section. Realistic value range small. Clips. $100, $400 medium clips. $500, $2,500 large dramatic clips. $3,000, $7,000. These remain among the easiest mint errors to identify. A broad strike occurs when the retaining collar fails during striking. Without restraint, the coin expands beyond normal dimensions. The result is a wider than normal quarter. Realistic value range. Typical broad strikes, $100 to $300 strong examples. $500, $2,000, exceptional certified examples. $3,000, $7,000 collectors appreciate these because they clearly demonstrate the minting process. Now we reach elite treasure territory. Occasionally, a quarter design is struck on a blank intended for another denomination. These mistakes are rare and highly desirable. Weight and appearance often seem unusual immediately. Realistic value range. Verified examples. $3,000, $15,000 rare certified specimens. $18,000, $35,000 plows. These are the discoveries that generate excitement throughout the collecting community. Now we arrive at the factor that changes everything. Condition, collectors examine, surface preservation, strike quality, luster, contact marks, eye appeal. Two identical error coins can have dramatically different values. A circulated example might sell for hundreds. A pristine mint state example might sell for thousands, sometimes much more. That's why grading matters. Professional certification often transforms collector confidence and market value. Let's return to the number that started this hunt. How could a 2024 Dr. Mary Edwards Walker quarter approach $42,000? Not because every coin is valuable, not because every quarter is rare. The highest prices emerge when multiple factors combine. Major mint error, exceptional preservation, professional grading, genuine rarity, strong collector demand. When all those ingredients come together, auction results can become astonishing. And that's what makes modern coin hunting so exciting. The treasure may still be out there. Tonight, check every 2024 quarter that passes through your hands. Look closely at the mint mark. Study the lettering. Inspect the edges. Search for doubling, die cracks, off-center strikes, clipped planchets, and anything unusual. Because somewhere in circulation right now, a remarkable 2024 Dr. Mary Edwards Walker quarter is waiting to reveal its secret. And the next great coin discovery may already be hiding in someone's pocket change, waiting for the one person curious enough to take a closer look. What if a quarter sitting in your pocket right now could be connected to a coin worth $142,000? Sounds like internet hype. But stay with me. Because the 2019 Lowell quarter became one of the most talked about modern coins among treasure hunters, not because every coin is valuable, but because rare errors, unusual varieties, and extraordinary high-grade examples have turned ordinary pocket change into a serious collecting adventure. And before we go any further, let's clear up a common rumor. The U.S. government did not ban the 2019 Lowell quarter. That's simply not true. What actually happened is even more interesting. Collectors became obsessed with searching these quarters because certain error coins and exceptional examples generated tremendous excitement throughout the hobby. Today, we're following that treasure trail. Most people never look twice at a quarter. They spend it, drop it in a vending machine, leave it in a cup holder. But experienced coin hunters see things differently. They know modern treasures often hide among ordinary change. The 2019 Lowell Quarter was the first release in the 2019 series of America the Beautiful Quarters. It honors the historic textile mills of Lowell, Massachusetts. Millions entered circulation. Most were ordinary, but some became the focus of an intense hunt. And that's where our story begins. Every treasure hunt starts with details. Look carefully at the mint mark. You may find P-K, Philadelphia, D-K, Denver, S. San Francisco. That tiny letter tells you where the coin was struck. Collectors always check it first, because sometimes a single letter changes everything. Long before this coin entered circulation, Lowell was one of America's most important industrial centers. The mills transformed raw materials into finished products and helped fuel economic growth. Instead of featuring presidents or monuments on both sides, the Lowell Quarter tells a story of workers, innovation, and American industry. That unique design immediately attracted collectors, but what happened next surprised almost everyone. Coin roll hunters began finding unusual errors. Social media exploded with discoveries, and suddenly millions of people started checking their change. The journey began with clad metal planchets. These blanks moved through high-speed minting equipment. Powerful dies struck George Washington on the front and the Lowell design on the reverse. The process happens incredibly fast. Thousands of quarters are produced every hour. Most emerge perfectly, but every machine has limits. Dies wear down, planchets shift. Debris enters presses, and when something goes wrong, treasure can be created. The first clue comes from damaged dies. As dies strike thousands of coins, stress fractures may develop. Those fractures appear on coins as raised lines. Some are tiny. Others become dramatic features across the design. Realistic value range minor die cracks. $2,100 strong visible examples. $150, $600 major dramatic examples. 800, 3,000 collectors often enjoy tracking these die failures because each one is unique. Now the hunt becomes much more exciting. A doubled die occurs during die creation when design elements receive multiple impressions that fail to align perfectly. The result is visible doubling. Look closely at lettering, date, numerals, design. Details, realistic value, range, minor doubling. $100 to $500 strong examples, $1,500, $8,000. Exceptional certified examples, $10,000, $25,000. Many double dies remain hidden because most people never inspect their coins closely. Some treasures practically reveal themselves. An off-center strike occurs when the planchet shifts before striking. Part of the design disappears. A blank crescent remains. The result is dramatic. Realistic value range. Small off-center strikes, $150, $500. Moderate examples, $1,000, $5,000 major off-center strikes, $6,000, $15,000 collectors especially value examples with a visible date. Imagine grease, cloth fibers, or metal fragments trapped during striking. Part of the design fails to form properly. The result becomes a struck-through error. Every example tells a different story. Realistic value. Range minor struck-throughs, $75, $300. Strong examples. $500, $2,500 dramatic examples, $3,000, $10,000. These unusual errors often become collector favorites. Before striking begins, planchets are punched from large metal sheets. If punches overlap improperly, part of the blank is missing. The struck coin retains that missing section. Realistic value range. Small clips, $150, $600 medium clips, $1,000, $4,000. Large dramatic clips, $5,000, $12,000. These remain among the easiest authentic mint errors to identify. A broad strike occurs when the retaining collar fails. Without restraint, the coin expands beyond normal dimensions. The result becomes noticeably wider. Realistic value range. Typical broad strikes, $100, $500 strong examples, $1,000, $4,000. Exceptional pieces. 5,000, 12,000 collectors love these because they clearly reveal the minting process. Now we enter serious treasure territory. Occasionally, a quarter design is struck on a blank intended for another denomination. These mistakes are rare. Very rare. The weight, size, and appearance often look unusual immediately. Realistic value range. Verified examples. $5,000, $25,000 rare certified specimens, $30,000, $80,000. These discoveries can become the centerpiece of a collection. The excitement wasn't because the government banned it. That rumor has circulated online, but it's false. The real reason collectors became obsessed is much simpler. The Lowell quarter was widely available. Anyone could search for one. That made every pocketful of change feel like a treasure hunt. Every roll of quarters became a mystery. Every discovery created excitement, and that excitement spread quickly through the collecting community. Now we reach the factor that changes everything. Condition. Collectors examine. Luster surface quality. Strike sharpness. Contact marks. Eye appeal. A rare error worth hundreds in circulated condition may be worth thousands in mint state condition. Professional grading often multiplies value dramatically. That's why serious collectors pay so much attention to preservation. Let's return to the number that started today's hunt. How could a 2019 Lowell quarter approach $142,000? Not because every coin is valuable. Not because every quarter is rare. The highest auction prices occur when several factors combine: major mint error, extraordinary rarity, exceptional preservation, professional certification, strong collector demand. When all those ingredients align, values can reach astonishing levels. That's what keeps treasure hunters searching. Tonight, check every 2019 Lowell quarter you can find. Look at the mint mark. Inspect the lettering. Study the edges. Search for die cracks, doubling, clipped planchets, off-center strikes, and unusual details. Because somewhere among millions of ordinary quarters, an extraordinary treasure is still waiting to be discovered. And the next coin that changes someone's collecting journey may already be hiding in a handful of pocket change. What if I told you that a quarter originally worth just 25 cents has been connected to sales approaching $145,000 when rare minting mistakes and exceptional conditions collide? Sounds unbelievable, right? But that's exactly why collectors constantly search through jars, old piggy banks, estate collections, and forgotten coin rolls looking for one specific coin, the 1999 New Jersey State Quarter. Most people spend it without a second thought. Collectors, they inspect every detail under magnification, because hidden among millions of ordinary New Jersey quarters are a handful of fascinating errors that can transform a common coin into a serious payday. And here's the twist. Many owners don't even realize what they're holding. Let's start the hunt. The year was 1999. America wasn't just entering a new millennium. The United States Mint was launching one of the most successful coin programs in history, the 50 State Quarters program. The New Jersey quarter became the third state released in that historic first year. Unlike ordinary quarters, this coin told a story. Its reverse design captures General George Washington crossing the Delaware River during the Revolutionary War, one of the most daring military moments in American history. When Americans first saw the design, many weren't thinking about coin values. They were thinking about collecting. Millions of people suddenly started checking their change. Coin folders sold out. Banks received requests for fresh rolls, and that massive public attention created something interesting. The more people searched, the more unusual errors began appearing. That's where today's treasure hunt begins. Before we get to the valuable mistakes, it's important to understand how these quarters were produced. The New Jersey quarter was struck at multiple U.S. Mint facilities. You'll often see mint marks such as P for Philadelphia, D for Denver, S for San Francisco. Proof coins. Each coin begins as a blank metal disc called a planchet. That planchet is fed between dies carrying the coin's design. Under enormous pressure, the images are transferred onto the metal. Most coins emerge perfectly. But occasionally machinery misaligns, dies become damaged, or foreign material interferes with the strike. Those mistakes create the treasures collectors chase today. And ironically, many of these error coins were never supposed to leave the mint at all. The government's goal is perfection. Collectors often pay huge premiums for the exact opposite. Let's begin with one of the most frequently discovered, but still highly collectible errors. A die crack develops when the hardened steel die starts breaking after repeated use. As the crack grows, metal flows into the damaged area during striking. The result? Raised lines appearing on the coin. Some are tiny, others stretch dramatically. Across Washington's portrait or through the reverse design, most minor die crack examples sell between $20 and 100. More dramatic examples can bring $150 to $500, and particularly impressive specimens in high grades sometimes climb even higher. The larger and more visible the crack, the more attention it attracts. Now the excitement starts building. An off-center strike occurs when the plancher isn't properly positioned before being struck. Part of the design ends up missing. Some off-center examples are only slightly shifted. Others look wildly distorted. Collectors especially love examples showing both the date and the missing design area. Typical values include 5% to 10% off-center, 50, 150, 15% to 30% off-center, $150, $600. Dramatic examples, $700, $2,500. The more dramatic the error, the more collectors compete for it. Every off-center strike tells the story of a split-second mechanical failure. This is where many treasure hunters get excited. A double die occurs during die creation itself. Certain letters, numbers, or design features appear doubled, not machine doubling. True doubled die varieties. On some New Jersey quarters, collectors carefully inspect lettering and design elements for signs of genuine doubling. Values vary dramatically. Minor doubling, $5,200. Strong visible doubling, $300, $2,500. Rare. Premium examples. $2,000. Because genuine double dies are much scarcer than ordinary quarters, demand remains strong, and many are still being discovered years after release. Imagine a small piece of cloth, grease, thread, or debris getting between the die and the coin. The result is known as a struck-through error. Instead of a complete design, part of the coin shows an unusual missing area or distorted impression. Every struck-through coin is unique. That's part of the appeal. Collectors love owning something that can never be duplicated exactly. Typical values include minor struck-throughs, $30, $150. Noticeable examples, $150, $700. Dramatic errors. $800, $3,000 plus. The stranger the appearance, the stronger the collector interest. Sometimes the dies strike each other without a plancher between them. That collision leaves impressions on the dies. Future coins then display ghost-like traces of design elements where they shouldn't exist. These are called die clashes for new. Jersey quarters, noticeable clash marks can command 40, 250. Strong examples may reach $300. 1,000 specialists actively search for these unusual varieties. Many casual collectors overlook them entirely. Here's something many beginners miss. An error alone doesn't guarantee big money. Condition matters. A lot. Two identical error coins can sell for dramatically different amounts simply because one is better preserved. Coins graded by professional services often receive scores from 1 to 70. As grades rise into MS63, MS65, MS67, MS68, values can explode. A coin worth $100 in average condition could reach several $100s in gem condition. A rare error worth $1,000 could become several $1,000s if virtually flawless. That's why serious collectors examine every detail under magnification. Most 1999 New Jersey quarters remain worth face value. That's the honest reality. But treasure hunters don't search because every coin is valuable. They search because a tiny percentage aren't. A dramatic off-center strike, a strong double die, a major struck-through error, a spectacular die crack, a rare combination of error and elite grade. Those are the discoveries that keep collectors checking coin after coin after coin. And every year, previously unnoticed examples continue appearing from old collections and forgotten rolls. Tonight, before you ignore that loose change sitting on a dresser, in a drawer, or at the bottom of a jar, take a closer look at any 1999 New Jersey quarter you find. Because somewhere out there, an ordinary-looking quarter is hiding an extraordinary mistake. And the next person to discover one could be staring at a coin worth far more than 25 cents. The real question is, how many people have already spent a valuable 1999 New Jersey quarter without ever realizing the treasure was in their hands? Imagine pulling a quarter from your pocket and discovering that collectors have paid astonishing amounts for rare examples connected to the same design, sometimes approaching $125,000 when exceptional mint errors, extreme rarity, and top professional grades come together. Sounds impossible for a 25-cent coin, yet that possibility is exactly why thousands of collectors still search through old jars, bank rolls, and forgotten collections looking for the 2008 Oklahoma State quarter. Most people see a common coin. Treasure hunters see potential. Because hidden among millions of Oklahoma quarters are unusual, minting mistakes that were never intended to leave the mint. The government strives to produce perfect coins. Defective pieces are supposed to be removed from circulation, but some escape, and when they do, collectors become obsessed. So today, we're launching a treasure hunt into one of the most overlooked state quarters in America. Released in 2008 as part of the famous State Quarters program, the Oklahoma Quarter honored a symbol deeply connected to the state's identity. Instead of military heroes or famous landmarks, Oklahoma chose something unexpected: the state wildflower. The reverse features the beautiful Indian blanket flower sweeping across the design. At first glance, it appears simple, but that simplicity creates an advantage for collectors. Small errors often become easier to spot because the design isn't crowded with complex details. Millions entered circulation. Most spent years moving through cash registers, vending machines, and coin jars. But a tiny number emerged with fascinating production mistakes. Those are the coins treasure hunters dream about finding. Before we examine the valuable errors, let's understand how the coin was born. The Oklahoma quarter was struck at different U.S. mint facilities. You'll commonly encounter these mint marks: P. Arceus, Philadelphia Mint; D. Arceus, Denver; Mint S. Arceus, San Francisco Mint Proof. Coins production starts with blank metal discs known as planchets. Each planchet travels through powerful coining presses. The dies strike the metal with tremendous force, creating the finished design in a fraction of a second. Most strikes are perfect, but sometimes machinery fails. Dies wear out, planchets shift. Foreign material enters the press. That's when ordinary quarters transform into collectible treasures. Let's start with one of the most commonly discovered Oklahoma quarter errors. Over time, coin dies develop stress fractures. When cracks form, metal flows into those damaged areas during striking. The result is a raised line on the finished coin. Some die cracks are tiny and barely noticeable, others dramatically stretch across the flower design. Collectors love larger, more obvious examples. Typical values include small die cracks, $20–75. Moderate examples: $75–250 major dramatic die cracks, $300 to $1,000. The bigger the crack, the stronger the collector demand. Every crack represents a die slowly breaking under enormous pressure. Now things become more exciting. An off-center strike happens when the planchet isn't properly aligned inside the press. Part of the design misses the coin completely. The result looks instantly unusual. Some off-center examples show only slight displacement. Others appear wildly distorted. Collectors especially seek examples where the date remains visible. Typical market ranges: minor off-center strikes, $50–150 moderate examples, $200–800. Dramatic off-center strikes, 1,000, 4,000, no two are exactly alike. That's part of their appeal. Each one captures a split-second malfunction frozen forever in metal. Among serious collectors, doubled dies are legendary. A doubled die forms during die production, not during circulation. Certain letters, numbers, or design elements appear doubled because of imperfections in the die-making process. Careful examination of lettering and design details can reveal this prized variety. Values often range from minor visible doubling, $50, $200 strong doubling, $300, $1,500 premium examples, $2,000, $7,500 plus. Many collectors spend years studying coins hoping to spot one overlooked by everyone else. The excitement comes from knowing that doubling isn't always obvious at first glance. This is where the hunt gets truly interesting. A struck-through error occurs when foreign material enters the striking chamber. Grease, cloth fibers, metal fragments, debris. The material blocks part of the design from transferring correctly. The result can look mysterious and unusual. Collectors love struck-through errors because each one is unique. Typical values: minor struck-throughs, $40, $150 significant. Examples: $200, $1,000 major dramatic struck-throughs, $1,500, $5,000 plows. The stranger the appearance, the greater the attention from collectors. Occasionally, the dies strike each other without a planchet between them. This creates clash marks on the dies themselves. Future coins inherit those marks. The result is a ghost-like appearance where design elements show up in unexpected places. Many people overlook these fascinating errors. Collectors do not. Typical values include light clashes, $30, $150, strong clashes, $200, $700. Exceptional examples, $800, $12,500. Finding a strong die clash often feels like uncovering hidden evidence from inside the mint itself. Here's where many treasure hunters make a mistake. They focus only on the error. Professionals focus on both the error and the condition. Condition multiplies value. A coin graded by experts might receive a score from 1 to 70. As grades climb into MS64, MS65, MS66, MS67, MS68, prices can rise dramatically. A coin worth $100 in average condition could bring several $100s in gem condition. A rare error worth $1,000 might become worth several $1,000s if preserved perfectly. That's why collectors protect valuable discoveries immediately. Every scratch matters, every mark matters, every point on the grading scale matters. Here's an important fact. The U.S. government does not intentionally release error coins. These pieces are considered production mistakes and are supposed to be caught during quality control. They're not banned from ownership, but they were never intended to reach circulation. That's exactly why collectors chase them. Each error represents a coin that slipped through the system, a survivor, a mistake that became a treasure. And the rarer the mistake, the stronger the demand. Right now, somewhere in America, a 2008 Oklahoma quarter is sitting unnoticed inside a coin jar, cash register, or old collection. Its owner may think it's worth 25 cents. A collector might see something entirely different. A hidden die crack, a dramatic off-center strike, a valuable doubled die, a mysterious struck-through error. The next great Oklahoma quarter discovery may already exist. The question is, how many people have spent one of these hidden treasures without ever stopping long enough to look? Before you dismiss the spare change in your pocket, consider this. A rare modern quarter connected to the same series as the 2013 Mount Rushmore quarter has stunned collectors with values approaching $125,000 when an extraordinary mint error combines with elite condition and extreme rarity. That's not a rumor. That's why experienced collectors still examine modern quarters one by one. And among those coins, the 2013 Mount Rushmore quarter has become a fascinating target. Most people spend it without hesitation. Treasure hunters don't. Because hidden among millions of ordinary examples are rare minting mistakes that were never supposed to leave the United States Mint. The government intended perfection. collectors became obsessed with the mistakes. And today, we're going on the hunt. The 2013 Mount Rushmore quarter was released as part of the America the Beautiful Quarters program. Instead of showing the famous monument from a distance, the designers chose a much more dramatic scene. A worker is shown carefully carving the face of Thomas Jefferson on Mount Rushmore. It's a close-up perspective rarely seen on American coinage. That decision made the quarter memorable from the moment it entered circulation. Millions were produced, millions were spent. But hidden inside that enormous production run were a small number of coins carrying unusual mistakes. Those mistakes transformed ordinary pocket change into collectible treasures. And like any treasure hunt, the challenge is knowing what to look for. Every treasure starts at the mint. The 2013 Mount Rushmore quarter was struck at multiple facilities. Collectors usually find these mint marks: P for Philadelphia, D for Denver, S for San Francisco. Proof issues production begins with blank planchets. These metal discs travel through high-speed machinery before being struck by engraved dies under tremendous pressure. Everything happens in fractions of a second. Most coins emerge perfectly, some do not. A worn die, a shifted planchet, a mechanical malfunction, a fragment of debris. Any of these can create a collectible error, and that's where the hunt begins. Our first clue comes from damaged dies. After striking thousands of coins, dies can begin developing cracks. When metal flows into those cracks, raised lines appear on the finished coin. Some cracks are tiny, others become dramatic enough to cross major design elements. On the Mount Rushmore quarter, collectors pay close attention to cracks appearing near the monument details and Washington's portrait. Typical values include small die crack examples: $20, $80 moderate die cracks, $100, $300 major visible die cracks, $400, $1,200. The larger and more dramatic the crack, the stronger the collector interest. Every crack tells the story of a die slowly reaching its breaking point. Now the treasure hunt gets serious. An off-center strike occurs when the blank planchet isn't positioned correctly before the strike. Part of the design misses the coin entirely. The result is instantly noticeable. Collectors love these errors because they're impossible to ignore. Values often depend on how much of the design is missing. Typical ranges include minor off-center strikes, $75, $200 medium off-center examples, $300, $1,000 dramatic off-center strikes, $2,500 to $5,000. The best examples show both the date and a large missing section. Those are the pieces that create bidding wars. This is one of the most exciting discoveries a collector can make. A doubled die originates during die production. The doubling becomes part of every coin struck by that die. Careful examination may reveal doubling in lettering, numbers, or design features. Not all doubling is valuable. True doubled dies are. For the Mount Rushmore quarter, collectors closely inspect inscriptions and find details. Typical values include minor doubled die examples: $50, $250, strong doubled dies, $500, $2,000 exceptional. Examples: $3,000, $8,000. Many doubled dies remain undiscovered for years. That's why collectors continue searching. The next discovery could be sitting unnoticed in circulation. Imagine a small piece of cloth, grease, wire, or debris becoming trapped during striking. The design fails to transfer properly in that area. The result is called a struck-through error. Each example is unique. No two look exactly alike. That's one reason collectors love them. Common value ranges include minor struck-through errors, $50, $200 noticeable examples, $250, $1 to $200 major. Dramatic struck-throughs, $2,500 to $6,000. The more unusual the appearance, the more attention the coin receives. Some look almost mysterious, as though part of the design vanished during production. Sometimes a coin press operates without a planchet between the dies. The dies collide directly. This leaves impressions on the dies themselves. Future coins inherit those marks. Collectors call this a die clash. On Mount Rushmore quarters, clash marks can create unexpected details where none should exist. Typical values include minor clashes, $30–$150 strong clash examples, $200–$800 premium clash varieties, $1,000– $3,000. So many casual collectors never notice them. Experienced treasure hunters actively search for them. Now comes the most important part of the story. Finding an error is exciting. Finding a high-grade error is where the real money begins. Professional grading services evaluate coins using a scale from 1 to 70. As grades move into MS65, MS66, MS67, MS68, values can rise dramatically. An error coin worth $100 in circulated condition might sell for several $100s in mint state condition. A rare variety worth $1,000 could become worth several $1,000s when nearly flawless. Condition acts like a multiplier. That's why collectors handle potential treasures with extreme care. One scratch can mean the difference between a good discovery and an extraordinary one. Here's a fascinating reality. The United States Mint never plans to release error coins. Quality control systems are designed to catch them. These pieces are not illegal to own, but they were never intended to enter circulation. Every surviving error represents a production mistake that slipped through inspection. That's exactly what makes them desirable. Collectors aren't chasing perfection. They're chasing rare accidents. And the rarer the accident, the more intense the competition becomes. Tonight, somewhere, a 2013 Mount Rushmore quarter sits unnoticed in a coffee can, coin jar, bankroll, or old collection. To most people, it's simply 25 cents. To a trained collector, it could be the beginning of a remarkable discovery. A hidden die crack, an overlooked doubled die, a dramatic off-center strike, a strange struck-through error, a rare clash mark nobody else noticed. The treasure is not buried underground. It may already be sitting in someone's pocket, and that leaves us with one final mystery. How many valuable Mount Rushmore error quarters have quietly passed through thousands of hands without anyone ever realizing what they were holding?